Hello.
Can you all hear us? Can you hear us? Okay, cool. All right. 3:15 p.m., just before our break.
10 more minutes.
Going to shake it up a little bit. Welcome to a session about thinking beyond your category. I'm Sophia Ingram. I'm a human. I'm also a director here at Paramount Advertising on the Audience Impact and Intelligence team.
And I'm Rebecca Finn, also a human, also a director on that team.
Our team is made up of researchers and strategists that provide our ad sales teams and clients with all things culture and consumer to help them keep their finger on the pulse of an ever-changing media ecosystem. And if you've been tuned in over the last 2 days, you've already heard a bit from our team. They've given a number of talks, and here we are at number 4, which is all about using AI as a sort of springboard for inspiration and thinking outside of your category.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty safe to say, everyone in this room, we have our eyes on the competition. We know what brands in our category are up to and every move they're making. But consumers aren't thinking this way. Consumers compare every single good experience they have, no matter the brand. In fact, 73% of consumers say a good experience is key in influencing their brand loyalties. So to be a love brand today, we really need to look at what the top brands are doing in terms of consumer experience and how they're making their consumers feel, whether they're in our category or not. Lucky for us, AI is category agnostic because it's solving real consumer problems. So unlike maybe some of its very new tech predecessors, we know AI is going to have staying power. And we know that the brands here see the potential in AI, and consumers are getting closer to that as well. So when recently asked how comfortable, if at all, are you having these tasks performed primarily by AI, about 30% say they're already using AI for these tasks, and around 70% said it would be helpful. So it's really our job as brand marketers to make sure that we're harnessing that nascent optimism toward AI and giving consumers kind of a look into how the way we use AI is going to be helpful for them. So let's bring it back to basics. In the rest of this session, we'll look at 3 very real consumer needs and how brands across categories are addressing them with AI.
All right. So starting with this very real, written by a human, and I'm not being facetious here, Reddit post seeking guidance to help them take better care of their finances. They say, quote, "I'm a little lost as to where to start. Any general advice or first principles would be greatly appreciated. In particular, I want to start using an IRA, possibly some high reward credit cards, but I don't want to wreck my credit score." And then they go on to give some more information about their specific situation in hopes of getting some really useful advice back. But what if I told you that this was actually a post seeking guidance on skincare? Same question, same sentiment, same need, and same hope for getting really specific and usable advice in return. While finance and skincare feel like 2 completely different worlds, from a consumer point of view, they're actually quite similar as they're both deeply personal. And we know that consumers place a higher value on brands in both categories that are getting this right. 72% of consumers think financial products are more valuable when they are tailored to their specific needs. And 80% of Gen Z are more likely to buy a beauty product if it uses tech to land a formula that is perfect for them specifically. So what does it look like to use AI to design for this consumer need? Clio is a favorite example of ours from the finance space. It's an AI-powered assistant that you link to your accounts in order to get the most meaningful financial advice back. So you can ask it questions like, how do I save $4,000 by next month? And it'll tell you. It'll also give you words of encouragement if you put it into hype mode, and it'll also give you some constructive criticism if you put it into roast mode. From the skincare space, Proven is a brand that was launched in 2017, and it uses machine learning to analyze information that you give it about your skin, as well as millions of consumer product reviews, and it analyzes thousands of ingredient options as well as academic journals to create a completely custom to you skincare regimen that you can change as your needs evolve.
Okay, next up, we have a question from another Redditor. I am someone who really loves fashion and enjoys the experience of discovering new brands. I am also a woman and am most comfortable in sizes 4X to 6X, and I've been realizing how truly inaccessible fashion is. I've also noticed that there is a fair share of plus-size fashion hacks and products, and I wanted to know what has worked or what hasn't. And what you wish existed, kind of to create a list for all Redditors. Just kidding. Actually, this is someone looking for travel hacks, and they are a neurodivergent disability studies student who is trying to create accessible hacks, an accessible hacks list. So at the intersection of fashion and travel, we have consumers from marginalized communities who just want to feel seen from the start. So we have a Vogue business size inclusivity report where they've said a lot of the major fashion houses are way behind in this category. We have a lot of TikTokers who will go to big theme parks, ride the big rides, and let you know how accessible it really is. And 7 in 10 consumers are willing to pay more for a travel choice that is more inclusive to all types of travelers. So here we have another brand example, Google Maps, using AI to make accessible navigation. So on the left, you have an example of how you can toggle to wheelchair mode. It takes out any steps, keeps it easy for wheelchair users. And then on the right is using Google Lens. You can you can use your camera to kind of hold it up, and if you're visually impaired, it uses text to read feature on your phone to let you know audibly where you are and what's in front of you. And then next we have an example from Pinterest and how they're using AI and inclusive search. So you have an option to choose from 4 different body types, including wheelchair-bound and disabled users. And then they make sure to put those types of body types first in your search.
All right, last but not least, and I'm sure you know where we're going with this. We've got a Reddit post from a self-proclaimed snack junkie who says, who's looking to spark a discussion about what they should buy next. And they say, quote, "I constantly find myself overwhelmed with the sheer amount of options at the grocery store to the point that when I attempt to go outside my comfort zone, I get burned out in like 30 minutes of browsing options." In fact, this is a post about music and the sheer overwhelm that sets in when it came time to create a playlist of alternative rock. And this is really no surprise. As consumers, we have never had this many options. The average person makes 35,000 decisions by the time they go to bed. And so whether it's deciding what to listen to or what to watch or what to order for dinner, right, this risk of information and option overload is a real design challenge for brands. Spotify has done a great job of sort of designing out this pain point with their Daylist offering, which analyzes your listening patterns and creates playlists just for you. And if you've ever hosted a summer barbecue or had a big group over for dinner, you will rejoice at this new offering from Instacart, which is AI powered, and it will generate a whole shopping list for you based on a question that you ask or a described need. So you don't have to compare all the corns on the cob anymore. So if you remember one thing from this presentation, let it be this, that there is a real human on the other end of your AI application going about their daily routine with real problems, real hopes, real goals, right? And that the golden rule of marketing, despite this rapidly changing technology, has not changed, which is to be a loved brand, you have to remember to center consumer needs as you bring these applications to market. Thank you.
Thank you.